I'm here in Brisbane talking to Damien Pasquale in his studio. And Damien, tell me a bit about how you firstly became a practicing artist, where you started from, and how it's developed.
I guess starting where I started as an artist. Early age, doing drawing constantly, and from that progressed to working in a commercial screen printing factory, and I guess at that point I was only in my teens or something like that, so doing freelance sort of jobs here and there in graphic design, and then working in the screen printing industry on a casual basis, for a while, and that was in Victoria and Geelong. And that sort of traversed up to Queensland, trying to paint with whatever means, and materials and supplies, constantly in journals, drawing ideas, and from that, I guess progressively going to QCA and doing my fine arts degree. I majored in printmaking, and all that sort of knowledge from the screen printing industry came through. And I progressed to more painting now than printmaking or printing. So it's more immediate, it's accessible, it's a little bit more freer than having these, I guess, not so much restrictions, but a lot of extra process and methods to produce something. So I can be really, really straight up and straight out, with getting a work, out and done. So
when you left QCA, were you still doing printmaking at that point?
No, I was totally dependent on QCA's department, because of the facility and the equipment that they had. So I guess once leaving there, it was that sort of all fell away, because it's quite a task to sort of get all that equipment, have the space for it, the appropriate space. It's just it's not achievable in the sense of, I guess, emerging art or an emerging printmaker. I mean, unless they have access to a studio that's properly set up. So there's plates. If you're doing etching for screen printing, it's primarily the screens, and so both of those, inks, paper, all these extras that tend to start marking things up. So it's kind of not impossible, but you need to sell an organ to basically get started. So
the move into painting, was that to some extent a kind of a practicality that, in terms of the sort of equipment that you need is much more accessible, and was that sort of a determining factor to some extent?
Yeah, I just needed to produce works, and I've always had this end goal of producing works that are gallery standard and high quality.
Yeah.
And in saying that, that's contradicted, in terms as well. It's like at the moment I'm getting by with pretty rudimentary sort of stuff. So it's just getting an idea or getting something. At the moment, it seems quite addictive. It's something that I need to do. It's a therapy for me. I need, because I'm unemployed and I'm totally dependent on my wife's income, which is somewhat emasculating and also embarrassing. But at this particular point, I need to do it. It's been a goal for 25 years plus. So,
but it's not unusual either to for an artist to be dependent on
Yes, like a secondary. Like it's there are artists that are doing shitty jobs that they just are soul crushing, like destroying them slowly on the outside, and yet their dream on the inside is to do what they love doing. And I guess there are compromises to be made. Our compromise is that we live very frugally, so and we're okay with that right now. So it's a tough gig. It really is. It's not like it's not like you could be working for 40 years plus painting away or drawing or excelling in regards of your practice and not get recognised or not get accepted. And this is the thing, it's like, do I need gallery, do I need gallery representation or don't I? Can I work independently? Can I market myself independently? Social media is great in that respect, but then again, I'm chewing up data like there's no tomorrow. It's it's incredible. So I kind of there's a contradictory in regards of I'm doing with what I can get my hands on and producing artworks, and I will do my best to make them presentable and acceptable for a buyer to want to collect. So and I guess steps from that, getting exposure, meeting people, possibly even financial backing, like to say, okay, well, what else can you do? Like, let's see what you can do. Yeah, I'm gonna back you $1,000 and see what you can do. So it's just a matter of putting myself out there and having a go.
Well, we met at an opening of Max Presnell's exhibition at a gallery here in Brisbane in May.
Yes.
So, how important is it for, I suppose you as an artist particularly, to attend those kinds of events and meet people and form those kind of networks? Very
important.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. Otherwise I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah.
And Max. It's integral. It's integral to, I guess, understanding yourself, how you socialise, how your ability to be able to communicate, articulate yourself, but present yourself as well. So turning up and being present is what counts, because people remember names, remember faces. Social gathering, it's pretty important. So for me, I get excited about meeting the artist, going to exhibitions, and I want to know how they do their work, how what's their practice, what are their methods, what are their processes, how they think and do the work, achieve their works. So on many levels, I guess it's the networking to meet buyers, collectors, people interested in art, but also the venue, the people who run the gallery, and the artists. So there's like a myriad of different levels of in regard to being educated about art, knowing about art, and then there are people like I don't know a lot about art, but I know what I like, sort of thing. So it's those types of people, and so if you can manage to befriend and find like-minded people, I think you can do pretty well in finding a direction to getting, I guess, where you want to go. Like for me, my goals is New York. That's a massive dream, but I think that's pretty short in regards of where I want to go straight away. So, but
Well,
yeah, sorry.
just on that regard, thinking about New York and thinking about social media, on your Instagram account,
Yes.
I noticed that it's tagged as the location is New
Yes.
York. Yeah.
So, yes, I'm kind of using it to its advantage, my advantage. I mean, there's no secret or sort of, taboo not to be able to use the geotagging.
Yeah.
It's also purely good marketing.
Yeah.
I think it's smart marketing. So it's not necessarily something that I disclose readily. I kind of, people have asked me, so you're in New York now, or so you're in San Francisco, or so you're in Berlin now.
Yeah.
And I said, I might be and I might not be.
Yeah.
So I can be in many places at the one time, so it's just good smart marketing. And also too, with utilising that feature to be able to time it with particular events such as art fairs, festivals, etc. So timing it is also important. So I'm just using it to my advantage to make it work for me and give as much exposure as possible. So
in general, how important is social media? Because obviously, you from Facebook and Instagram, and you were talking before about the potential for that then to market your work. Tell me a bit about how it actually functions for you, social media generally.
It functions in the respect that when I do my work, when I have resolved a particular painting, or I have a specific idea or how I want a small study to be represented, or to transpire, I think is probably a good word or descriptive for it. I will take a photo of the resolved work. I will mull over it for a little bit, and I have a tendency to, because I'm on the social media, I tend to look at a lot of other galleries, a lot of other artists, and I will source photos or pictures that are actually being framed well and taken a nice photo of, presented well in a gallery sort of situation. And I will take a screenshot of that and actually reproduce that, dropping out their artwork and using their frame, their gallery setting, etc., and drop my image into it. Now I use a number of apps to basically achieve that. It may seem like it's a bit not telling the truth as is, but yet then I think about it that I'm actually trying to market my work and put it in a light that's best as possible. So even though that some works may not be even available, or they may have been worked over again, they are still present in regards of people being able to see what I can achieve. So,
do you get much feedback from people as well?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah. It's incredible. It's rising. It's like the amount of followers, the amount of comments is increasing. In a matter of, I've been, I guess, on Instagram for about 4 to 5 years, and I probably in the last 2 years have been trying to concentrate wholly and solely on marketing and giving exposure to my work. So it's gone from 1,000 people up to I'm nearly reaching 3,000 people. So it's kind of very humbling and exciting, because I want to reach out to as many more people as possible, especially collectors as well. So it's but it's a bit of a process I guess getting to that sort of final image to be able to post and be happy with it. So it's a and the only thing I use is the phone. That's it. I don't use a computer. I don't use anything else. I just use the apps that are on the phone. Everything's edited on there. Everything's cropped, done. You know, lighting, blah blah blah. Everything's made to fit. And yeah. So it might, you know, take a couple of days to sort of get sorted, but when I'm happy with them, they get posted up. And I'm, you know, when the data's quite fresh or renewed for reset for the month, I will, you know, be prolific in regards of getting the work up and seeing. I know there's, you know, debate in regards of, you know, don't put all your cards out at the one time. But I kind of think, well, it's an artist is, as long as I'm breathing, I'm producing work. You know, it's you know, that's the thing. It's and when the day comes that I stop breathing, I think people start to go, oh shit, I've got to get one of those. You know.
So you're always thinking strategically, I suppose, with the social media.
Yeah, well, you have to be, because it's pretty cutthroat. It's you know, there are other artists out there or whatever businesses that are, you know, employing teams to market using social media. So it's and if you're an independent artist, you're a whole one person trying to do it all yourself. So I guess going back to the geo-tagging, I don't see that there's any problem with that. I don't see any problem with taking screenshots of frames that I could utilise to present my work or gallery sort of environments, because I feel as though that I'm using it to my advantage, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it because it actually gets edited. So yeah, yeah, and that's the I guess the downside of it too, the time and the expense of having to pour into that.
So it's kind of a complementary part of the practice that in some ways kind of takes you away from actually being in here doing the
painting and writing and drawing. So it's kind of I get really antsy when you know, I've been on, and when I look at my iPhone, I go, oh, I've been on Instagram for 4 hours for the day. It's like, you know, what have I been doing? So time does slip away, and time, you know, it's sort of, I get begrudged on using social media as a tool, but I think it's a necessity part of being a practicing artist, and especially an independent one where there's no representation, so, or no formal representation, so it's very valuable.